Okay, good people, man. I don't even know what the hell happened. OBS be tripping. I thought we were streaming again. Everybody's back in the building. The sound is working. I see the lines moving, or the sound cords, or whatever you want to call them. Listen, people, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, Akumu, for the third time. God
Third
damn
time's a
it.
charm.
Tell them you've been working. Tell them what you've been playing so we can get into Six Slayer, God damn it.
Yeah, so this week, like I said, been working, still in training. I got another 2 weeks of training, and then, as our trainer said, then we're leaving the nest.
Oh,
Been playing Kraken Academy. Got given a code for that, and I'm loving the game. And then, yeah, still gonna jump back in and finish playing my Mass Effect Legendary Edition playthrough. Uh, like I said, now that I'm working, I'm gonna start beefing up my video game collection again. So looking forward to that. And in 2 more weeks, it's Spooktober, and I am known for playing horror games,
yes, let's
but
go.
I'm putting them all on hold for 2 weeks, and then the whole month of Spooktober is gonna be nothing but horror.
Let's
That's
go.
all we're
Let's go.
playing.
First of all, thank y'all for being patient in the chat. Thank you for returning. Listen, OBS turned off my sound. I had to re-click the mic and the output. Don't even know why, but listen, we ain't even go through all that, man. And this is coming from somebody who's working 3, 4 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning to get this podcast correct for 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the evening, and you still get a problem later on sometime. OBS be tripping. Now,
Murphy's Law.
now, being that everybody can hear me, goddammit, let's talk about it. We're going to talk about the man who's getting a movie dropping in December. We're going to talk about a man who pay your bills just by blinking his eyes. We're going to talk about a man that's stopping bullets in the air and give you that wavy wave breakdance moves on the go. We are talking about my man Six Slayer, a.k.a. The Matrix. What's good, brother?
What's up, homie? Yo, you always trip me out with them, bro. Like I swear, one day Swatch is gonna rush in, bro. You're gonna see a flash of guns and it's over.
I got that
It's
bail
over.
money. I got you. I got you. I
Better,
got
you
you.
better. Yeah, man. It's been a week for me too. Been working hard because these holidays is right around the corner. There's lots of stuff
Woo!
I want, so you got to work hard for what you want out here in these streets.
Work
But
hard for that money. Let's go.
no doubt, no doubt. But I did put aside some time for that Crisis Remaster that finally hit Steam. I got it on sale for $15 because I've owned it before and I bought it within the release week. So
What do
on
you
PC,
think?
you can get
What
it
do you
for a
think?
little. Oh,
Do you like that ray
man.
tracing?
We're definitely gonna talk about ray tracing later. But there's a game where the ray tracing, yeah, it looks nice on that
Okay. Okay.
What
Now,
game?
Crisis Remaster.
Crisis. I'm gonna need you to pay attention.
Pay
Light skin
attention,
one.
man.
It looks better on Doom. Sorry.
Yeah, I
Doom is
agree.
a different
I
game,
agree.
and Doom is not as old. Now, thank you, Sonic. Your Artricity Nice, man. Thank y'all for being patient. Listen, man, I work hard. Like I said, 5, 4, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 4 in the morning, man, trying to get this right. But OBS just did some BS right before the start of the show. But we got it working, man. We back. Good to see everybody here. Without y'all, there's no us, man. But now, I gotta introduce somebody that is special in my life. I gotta introduce the new light-skinned brother on the block, aka Baby Ice Cube, aka the overweight lover in the house, heavy D-ass mother sucker. Shout out to my little brother, PK. Let's go. What's up, Mr. PK Entertainment? What's good? What you been playing? What you been doing? What's popping?
Man, you said a lot of things that I didn't know you was talking about me for a minute. But yeah, I appreciate that. It's been a rough last couple weeks for me. I have been getting my gaming in though. I went ahead. I finished Psychonauts.
You're not gonna talk about your gaming score. You're not gonna embarrass nobody.
No, I went ahead. I finished Psychonauts. I finished Tales of Rise. I just started Deathloop today. I was interested in and don't get me wrong, Game Pass is giving me a lot of stuff to play, and a lot of stuff people may have overlooked. I did play the 12 minutes game. It wasn't one of the games I would have, but it was pretty interesting. I played it to the end. I went ahead and 100% that too, and They, there was another game called Last Stop. Another game that's overlooked. You guys could probably complete it in about 5 hours. It's definitely worth it if you got Game Pass. Just give it a try, man. It's got a crazy story, man.
Are you promoting
Stuff
that
like
Game
that.
Pass hype train? Because it looked like you promoting that Game Pass hype train. I don't know. You sound like a spokesman for Game Pass. What's good?
I mean, it feeds you well. I mean, outside of that, when I hop on my Switch, all I got is Pokemon Unite and Smash. It's not like I got a Game Pass, and then everything else. Hey, I could get on PC and Xbox, and I haven't touched my PlayStation in forever. So,
You had to throw that in there, huh? Uh-huh.
nothing wrong with PlayStation, but I mean,
It is what it is.
I could play everything I want on where I'm at. That's all I'm saying. Only thing that I can't play at the moment, but I can wait. Like I know God of War is coming to PC, and then you know, but that's the whole point, man. We got options, and people choose to play whatever they want to play. At the end of the day, we're the consumers, and we spend our money on whatever.
Okay.
But I'm happy.
All right. All right. Shout out to the people in the chat. My brother Sensei, my Boricua sensation. What up, my brother? Yo, listen, we was catching some bodies the other day in Apex. Let's go! And you already know who I am, man. I am Lemon, a.k.a. Lemetius, right hand of Zeus. And yeah, that is not auto-tunes. That's my voice. Don't be mad. Be mad at yourself. Now, we're going to hop into some topics, man. We're about to get lit in here, and we're going to start off with a light topic. Man, let's get into that Nintendo Switch price drop. PK 2017, March 2017. I know you the Switch police. I'm going to you first because maybe you think this is a positive movement, or maybe you're going to say what I said. It's about damn time. What did you think about, excuse me, this price drop in Europe to 249.99 euros, which is roughly like 279 American. Talk to me. What's good?
They're preparing for the new console. They're gonna more likely phase out the standard Switch for the new version. They're gonna still keep the light, but they're just gonna phase out the standard one for the whatever the new version is.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to do that, you got to drop the price, get people to get them out of stock, and then make room for the new guy, right?
Right.
And then the new guy, they can drop the price on that to make it whatever the standard Switch price is. So it's typical. They do this all the time. They did it with the 2DS, 3DS, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. It's typical. It's
Okay,
the
but
same
let me ask
thing.
you a question. Did you think this was a little bit too long? Because, that Switch price, it's the same price as the Xbox Series S today. So do you believe that they should have been dropped this price?
I mean, like I said, I said this before. Like Nintendo is an anomaly. It resists rational economics. They do things and play things to their own tune, and they still sell well. They still do well. They don't really care.
Right.
And their consoles are still gonna sell at the end of the day.
Okay.
I don't know about dropping the price. I get the value between a Series S and a 1S, but they have a non-official competitor coming at $500 come next year.
$399.
Or 400 or $390, $400. So they're gonna have a non-official competitor coming.
It's not really competitive.
I'm not saying it is, as I said, non-official.
I'm just saying you did say the word competitor.
But it said unofficial too.
Yeah, you did say unofficial. Right.
So
now with Bluetooth.
But
that's what Sensei.
But what I'm getting at is, I don't think they see that as a potential issue to hit their pockets. They're lowering the price based on their own, not to compete against their own products.
Yeah, facts.
But should have been like for us, maybe. I think so, but at the same time, they're not going to do it unless they see a potential huge dip in adoption.
Right.
So That hasn't really, and even though it has drained off a little bit, but let's be honest, it's still trucking along just fine,
Oh yeah,
and
no doubt, no doubt.
that's why they haven't felt like. So this is holiday season, right? And they're about to drop this new hardware, which is basically a better version of the
No, not
standard
really,
model.
not really.
Well, it is in some ways.
No,
So,
it is in one way.
well, it's
It's
a
a bigger
refresh of
screen.
some sort.
It's a bigger screen.
I mean, it's a refresh at some point, right? Some sort of refresh.
Like, don't even have
I,
better battery life. You can't
I,
play better visuals on the go. Still
yeah, I
720p.
mean,
Still
you don't hear
1080p
me.
dock. I'm just
You don't hear
saying.
me.
So we can't say it's better.
I
It's
mean,
really
I
not.
mean,
The screen is bigger. Less
I
than
mean,
half an
put it,
inch.
put it this way, 108. They sold the Switch Lite as better, but it's actually less features than the standard model. But that's the way they push it.
I know. I
So
know. I
it
know.
doesn't matter. People still bought it, right? I don't know why they still call it a Switch and you can't switch, you know. But
This is coming from
it's
the
still
Switch police, baby. This is coming
it's.
from the Switch police.
But at the same time, they like I said, they don't care. They just don't want to compete against themselves. And
Facts.
at the end of the day, they just want to phase out the older hardware for the newer ones. And I know I keep using that term loosely, old and it's really current model versus the older model,
Right.
right? The refresh versus that's all it is. And
Okay.
then whenever they come out with something new, then we'll see them do it again.
And first of all, let me shout my man out. I just took that shirt off. I was rocking it. The Don. We're always live Saturday at 6 p.m. If you didn't know, you're live because we're always live every Saturday. Tell them, chat, the Dawn. We're always live every Saturday, 6 p.m. And with that being said, with my radio voice, we're going to move into my girl, the queen of the block, Miss Akumu. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. What did you think about this price drop? Is it warranted or is it goddamn about time?
Both.
Facts. I'm with you, sis. I'm with
It's
you.
both.
I'm with you. Because they
Yeah.
came out 2 generations behind the hardware anyway, using old chips. But go ahead. I just want to get your opinion. Just
Well,
throwing
yeah,
shots.
exactly. But no, you're right. That's why I said both. That's why I'm like, yeah, okay, it's about time, but at the same time, yeah, because I mean, it's just like it was said, right? They don't want to compete against themselves. They're coming out with the new one. They have the light. So I could kind of see why from the business standpoint where they're just kind of like, okay, hey, let's raise this, let's lower the price, excuse me. Let's lower the price so we can start selling out, hey, this stock and then bring out the new one that and following the patterns of gamers. This is and I'm not firing shots at anyone in particular, but it's a pattern of a lot of gamers, something new, and it's like I want it.
Facts.
And I'm guilty of it too. That's what I'm saying. It's not it targeted at anyone in particular because hey, I'm guilty too. Sometimes you see something, and even if this is perfectly good, it's still nice and everything. You're like, that's shiny. I want it. It's shinier than my
Facts.
shiny.
Facts.
um. So yeah, the one thing that I was kind of like, man, was the fact that and it only decreased the price in like in the European countries.
Yeah, I think it's
But
gonna.
They
I think it's gonna trickle down. I think it's
yeah,
gonna
it's
trickle
gonna
down.
happen.
It's
It's
gonna
gonna
right,
trickle
happen.
down.
and I'm
Closer
sure
it
I'm
gets
sure
to
it
the
will.
holiday.
I think what caught me off guard though is European countries. They didn't even do their own country first. They didn't even do Japan
You
first.
know why, right? Because that Western market is where the money's at.
Right. No,
You
no,
know
no,
what
and
I'm
I get
saying?
that. I
That's
Yo, you
just
need a
what it
button for
is.
facts, bro. It needs to
no,
come up on the screen somehow.
Shout out to Sony saying we out.
Like,
but
shit,
you know
I'm
what?
out.
You're right. And that's what it is. It's still just kind of like, sometimes it's still kind of like, man, you didn't even do like your own
Your own
home
region. Facts.
first.
Facts.
You
Home
know?
base, yeah.
Yeah, you need to take care of your home base first. You would like,
Turf,
we'll come back to you eventually, maybe.
All right. All right.
But
Before I
yeah,
get into
no,
this, shout out to my man, Mr. G4, what's good, man? Good to see you in the chat, man. Stanley, you here consistently, religious like church on Sundays. I see you on the block, man. Welcome everybody in the chat, man. Like I said, without y'all, there is no us, man. We're gonna continue moving. Sick. I know you're not a Switch dude. I know you like, with your Neo powers in the Matrix, you would just make Nintendo disappear with the disrespect of not having a 4K system. But with that being said, price drop, 279 euros. I mean, excuse me, 279 in the US, equal to euros or 249.99. What did you think about this price drop in the European markets, man? Did you care? Did you give a damn when you say, I'm still not getting a Switch?
Oh, well, first and foremost, before I answer the question real quick, I would never get rid of Nintendo. I mean, I grew up on Nintendo too. I'm a part of that Nintendo generation, man. And as much as, I have ill things to say about Nintendo nowadays, it comes from love, not hate. So just to get that clear.
Okay, let's get that clear. It's clear.
And Daddy would definitely spank them if I was in charge, because they're not doing, the things I feel they should be doing. But the one thing I feel they did right was this, it's simple logic, man. They need to clear out the inventory, and this is the way to do it. It's the traditional thing to do, and Nintendo is very traditional even now in 2021. Much to their own detriment, in my opinion, but not in this case. This is the way you should do it. But my critique of it is that they should have did it from the beginning when they first announced the OLED Switch. That's when that should have happened, But they see the business and the money in it, like PK was saying. So of course that's gonna happen. But but the whole thing with the OLED Switch is funny, man, because it reminds me of that clip from The Simpsons with the Malibu Barbies, and even Waylon Smithers was over there trying to get, and Lisa's like, no, but it's just the same thing, but it has a new screen. I want it. Now with Bluetooth, so
okay.
It is what it is, like, hey, it's business moves, man. You can't be mad at it.
All right, so with that, we're gonna stick with you, man. Let's talk about this, man. Xbox headsets, Bluetooth headsets, my Sony XM1000 M4s, Bluetooth, iPods. Listen, finally, after 5.5 years, we can use Bluetooth headsets with the Nintendo Switch. But there's a catch. If you streaming and you want your streaming community to hear your gameplay, you cannot have on Bluetooth and streaming your games at the same time and let them hear the sound. Only you can hear it, because once you cut it on Bluetooth, it turns off the system sounds. Now, this is another problem.
I'm about to say, there's more than one.
You are limited from how many controllers you could link up Bluetooth if you're using Bluetooth headsets. So you know what? Sick. You are AKA the Switch Destroyer in this room. So now, with that being said, and this is the final Switch topic for the night, talk to me. Tell me what you thought about the limitations of this Bluetooth, and it should have had this from day one. But
Absolutely.
talk to me. What did you think about hearing that they got this new firmware update with this Bluetooth, and then the negatives that came behind it that they didn't talk about, that people had to find on their own, like myself, after testing it?
Well, this whole time when they didn't have the Bluetooth, I was thinking to myself, there has to be some kind of limitation, because they had to hear all the backlash and stuff. Why don't they just go back and re-implement this, right? And I should look at this after the fact, before the show, because those early Switch models that were hackable, they've put Android on it, and I don't know if that supports Bluetooth, and if that supports
It does not.
It does not. Well, okay,
No.
Well, it just goes to show then
It's a
on the point I'm
bandwidth
about to make.
limitation.
Exactly, and that's my point. I think it was bandwidth limitations as to why they never did this in the first place, because the limitation is 2 controllers. Well, the Joy-Cons are 2 controllers. Now, I'm not sure on this. PK, you're gonna have to clarify. But do the Joy-Cons count as 2 Bluetooth devices?
Yes, 2 Bluetooth devices. Yes.
So that means you can't use your Joy-Cons and a Bluetooth headset at the same time. That's a big L.
Or your Pro controller.
Well, you could use a Pro controller, would be a good alternative, because that would count as
No,
one,
no,
and then
no.
you
You
use the
can't
Bluetooth
use
headphones.
all. Like if you had a 3-player game, 2 people got 2 Joy-Cons. You use the Pro controller. I'm using my Bluetooth headsets. No
That's not
go.
working. No
No
way.
go.
No way. That's way more than 2.
Right.
That's way more than
No
2.
go. It's 4
So
devices. They only attach in 3. 2 Joy-Cons, 1 headset. That's it. Limited bandwidth.
right, and I wonder how much Bluetooth bandwidth the Joy-Cons even use in the first place. Maybe it's a lot more than average. So it may not be that the Bluetooth bandwidth, on the Switch is limited or whatever.
No,
It
it's
could just
limited.
be
No,
that
it's
these
limited.
Joy-Cons. Well, it is okay. So it is limited because my theory was going to be maybe it's not so much that it's limited, that these controllers you will use a lot more than expected for all the functionality it provides. So maybe it could have been that, but that was just a theory. But you're saying that it was limited anyway,
It's limited.
and it wasn't supported in the
But I'm not
Android
gonna blame the
port.
Switch.
Right,
Cell phones are limited also. But we're
right,
not trying to hook up a controller, a
right.
headphones, and 2 extra controllers too. There's a lot of devices limited. I'm not blaming the Switch. I'm just telling you what's
Right.
going on. So it's
Right,
not really a
but it seems
Switch
to
problem.
right, but that's the point of it. Like it seems like they always had this limitation, and this is why they never implemented it in the first place. But it seems to me with this Switch OLED, this was their chance to address it, at least in that device, and they could say, "Hey, okay, we're enabling on the older devices, but there's a caveat with those because of the bandwidth. We fix it in the OLED model. It further justifies, the price of the
Right.
OLED.
Right.
But as far as we know, it doesn't do that. It could be a surprise, and it really does. You would think they would advertise that by now, so I'm going to assume they don't. But yeah, man, it's a more complicated situation than everybody assumed it was. So it is
Okay.
what it is. It's less of an L than it seemed to be after all this time.
All right. We're gonna get into the Switch police itself. El Capitan of the Switch police. It's him and my man Cognito from IOP. These are the Switch police. PK, can you defend the situation, or are you saying like the rest of us?
Well, I mean, I just want to point out that Bluetooth is not just one, and what we're talking about is Bluetooth audio versus the Bluetooth device connect. There's 2 different things going on here. You can have 8 Joy-Cons paired to your Switch and play them at the same time.
That's a fact.
But when you add audio, that's a whole different source,
different beast.
and it works on a different frequency. So
Yes.
we're talking about 2 different things. And just to be clear, I'm not saying this is good or bad. It's a bad implementation, and it's mainly because the way the console's designed, it wasn't meant for this, right? They didn't plan for this, and that's part of the issue, right? They don't have a dedicated chip for this.
No, they don't.
It was
a
Bluetooth
software
audio.
update. Right.
So with that being said, that's why there's limitations for the most part, and it's not Bluetooth itself. Obviously, it has Bluetooth, it has wireless capabilities, but it runs on 2.4 gigahertz, which it does
It's
do
a
some
low
5.
bandwidth.
Yeah, it's on a lower spectrum. It can do some 5, but for the most part, most of the components run on 2.4, and
Right.
most other stuff also run on 2.4. Some people's cordless phones, some people's routers,
Right.
some
a
people's
slew of things.
all kinds of stuff. So there's all kinds of, matter of fact, that when the Switch launched, I know a lot of people don't remember, but Roku had to do an update just to take themselves off the same spectrum as the Switch because it was bricking their TV.
Software.
Yeah,
I
the
got you.
little
Yeah, I got you.
handheld thing. So
Yeah,
it
the
was
remote.
breaking them. It was breaking them. So they had to make some changes to avoid that situation. It was because of the Switch. And you don't have to believe me. You just Google that. But what I'm making is it good that it's here? Sure, but is it really? I mean,
It's
let's
really
be
not.
real.
And I'm gonna break it.
How
I'm gonna
many
break something
how
down
many
that you might not
people
know.
really use the Switch voice chat for anything? I
You
mean, I
can't
know it
use the voice
exists,
chat. You can't use the voice chat with Bluetooth. No, sir.
Nope.
You
but
cannot. There's no buts. You can't do it.
okay, but
You still got to use that phone app.
It's just for listening.
no. You don't have to use the phone app per se. There's games such as like Pokemon
Fortnite.
Unite, who has an in-game chat,
Right.
but
Fortnite,
um,
yeah.
and like I said, Pokemon Unite does the same thing. But what I'm saying is that the problem is that even with the in-game stuff, that's hosted on something outside of the Switch. The problem is you're trying to use Switch hardware for something that wasn't
It
designed
wasn't designed
for
for facts.
for this integration. So the thing is they're just band-aiding it for now.
Yeah. Well,
And
they
and
can't fix it because it wasn't built for that. They just gave you a patch
yeah,
to give you some type of acceptance, and I'm gonna
give you
break down something
something
else when you're done.
where you can listen to it in yours or with Bluetooth. Even though you don't technically need it, you just plug a headset in and you're good.
Right.
It but not to go too far on that. I'm just saying for me, most people most people that Switch owners that dedicate themselves to playing to this don't use Bluetooth, but it doesn't mean it
You
shouldn't
can't
be
say that.
implemented,
A
right?
lot of people got AirPods,
True
wireless
that.
headphones, and if they don't want to be tethered to it wired, a lot of
True
people
that.
have devices on hand that they would love to use. You can't say
But
that.
what I'm saying is that when they're playing online trying to chat, they are definitely not using Nintendo's online voice chat. They're probably on their
Oh
and
no,
even if they
right.
did, they're still on their phone.
Yeah,
So they're
fact.
still
You
not
can't use a voice
connected.
chat with the Bluetooth anything. There's no chat features in Bluetooth.
So they're not using it for that purpose anyway. They're on Discord, or if they're using Nintendo's voice chat, it's still on their phone either way. So if they're using the Bluetooth for voice chat, they're using a different device
All right.
altogether.
Okay. Let me shout out Lawrence. Shout out to you, brother. And somebody had a question in the chat. Bunty, what I got on? Gotta get my wet works on real quick. 100, what's good, doggy? Always good to see my boy in the building. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy.
108 Dragons TV.
I
Welcome,
got a
Mr.
question
100
in the
Intro
chat.
Media
Hold on,
Gaming.
Let me find it. Xbox connection is monitored Bluetooth. No, it's not. Microsoft
2.4
is using
gigahertz.
their own 2.4 gigahertz that they designed. It is not Bluetooth. If you remember, the later controllers in the Xbox One Life came out with Bluetooth connectivity for you to be able to hook up to your phones to use xCloud and Bluetooth connect to your PC. They use their own proprietary software for their Wi-Fi, but it's Wi-Fi. It's not Bluetooth. So that's the facts on that. Yeah, shout out to you, Emmanuel. I see you in the chat, baby. But we're gonna move on. What I'm gonna say about this was crazy. The Bluetooth connectivity is great, right? For people that want to use it. But I'm gonna tell you something that's even more important. The devices that you can buy that have the dongle at the bottom have more Bluetooth features than the Switch. It's still better to get a headphone that's dedicated for video games to use it for Bluetooth for the Switch than it is to use the Switch's Bluetooth because it's limited. Now, if you get a device that plugs up to USB-C, that's a dongle that has Bluetooth, you have more features available to you, and it does not take away from anything the Switch is currently made to do. So my recommendation, if you really want Bluetooth, they got something called Genki Bluetooth adapter for the Switch. Use that. You can chat through it. You can hook up multiple headsets and still hook up multiple controllers to your Switch with no negatives. So yes, having the update is awesome for people that just want a game on their Switch, but if you use a dongle, it would be better because you're not limited. It doesn't take away from the Bluetooth bandwidth because everything Bluetooth has a bandwidth limitation. It's not just the Switch, but that's a point that I wanted to bring up that nobody on the panel said, so now I brought it to your attention. And now we are going to move on. Let's talk about something quick that the panel said, But we're going to talk about, is there anything from the THQ Nordic 10th anniversary that people came away with and say, you know what, this is awesome. I'm going to start with you, Sick, because you didn't think too highly of it, so you ain't got to be long. So talk to me. What did it do for you? Or what didn't it do for you?
It didn't do much of anything for me. Not in terms of the show or anything like that. It just didn't show any games or anything that I'm personally interested in. It's not a knock on the show because I don't think the format was bad or anything like that. It just didn't have anything for me, and sometimes that's just what it is, So I think the presentation was good and all of that. I was good with it. I was good with it in terms of the show. Just didn't seem, and I cared about. That's that. You should have known I was gonna be short on that. There he goes.
You done? That's it?
Yep.
Okay, PK. Akumu. No. Akumu. Did you see anything in the THQ 10th anniversary that was hosted by Jeff Keighley that was interesting to you?
Yeah, I like Destroy All Humans too, but I like Destroy All Humans and just in
Yeah.
general. So, um, I like that. I think I won't lie. Yeah, like I said, I like it, so I was already excited. But I think the fact that they're playing it to like they're showing it off to like the ROM scene would it made it that just more extra for me. I was like, okay, yes.
Okay.
um,
What else stood out for
I'll
you?
Outcast 2. I'll admit that I've never heard of it. So when I was first watching the trailer, I mean, it caught my eye. It did catch my eye. Elix 2 was another one that kind of caught my eye. And then because I'm a dork or whatever, SpongeBob. But I don't know if that was just because it's SpongeBob or because the fact that they were
Oh, you
playing
mean
that.
Cosmic Shake?
Yeah, but I like the fact that they were playing that victory song. Like, so I'll be honest. I don't
108
know if it was the
Dragons
trailer
TV
itself or
welcomes
just
Living
the
Split
fact that
Screen
they were actually
podcast to the
playing the
show.
song that got me like, hey.
Okay. Okay.
But
PK, talk to me. What in this showcase did it for you, or maybe it didn't do it for you? I mean, Jeff Keighley, I think he did a great job of hosting and keeping it general and keeping it straight to the point. But you know they be reading cue cards, but it don't matter. What did you think about the show, bro?
Well, I don't care too much for Jeff Keighley anyway, but
I'm talking about the show.
I know you mentioned Jeff
THQ
Keighley, so
Nordic.
you also mentioned Jeff Keighley. So
It's okay.
hey, um,
It didn't see you at first.
I'm a Darksiders fan, so I didn't get to see nothing on that. I'm looking forward to that because I want to see my boy get his own game. All right, that's what I want. That's what I'm waiting for. However, you know, call me crazy. I did miss the SpongeBob,
You are definitely crazy because you didn't watch it to
but
the end.
no, I didn't. I didn't watch the whole thing, but
Didn't
I
I
did
drop
watch.
the homework in the Dragons Den podcast, DM? I
I
dropped it
watched.
in there.
I watched most of it, but what I do like is, hey, I missed the SpongeBob game last time around,
But it
but
wasn't
I
the
watched.
fighting game you talking about. It's something different.
I know, no, Bikini Bottom, which I missed. I didn't get to pick it up, but I watched my friends play it, and I thought it was funny that you have to go around and collect panties. So I was like, that's one of the things you gotta do. So I was
And
like,
being a light skinned brother that you are, you collect panties. You's a panty bounty hunter, ain't you? Uh-huh, because I know I am.
so yeah, Destroy Humans. Check it out, man.
Sorry, sis.
Somebody brought this up last night. I feel like people overlook. THQ is a part of a bigger stretch of developers that make a crap ton of games that maybe not looked at as AAA, but they're just fun. And whether it's everything that somebody would want, I think everybody should just give it a shot. I mean, Destroy the Humans is fun. It might not be something that just jumps at you and say, I gotta have this,
No,
but if
but
you
it's
give it a
fun as
shot,
hell. It's fun.
you know, you
No
give
doubt.
it's actually fun. So, you know, no difference. I know a lot of people got. I would say some people. I don't know how. I'm not that dude. I'm pretty happy for any Saints Row to drop. You know, shout out to Violation out there. But I've been
Facts.
Saints Row 2 overall is the epitome of the best one of all time. And it was
Yes.
able to go head to head with GTA 4 and literally had more than what GTA 4 had to offer. And all I'm saying is that if they can go back to that, to what really got me into Saints Row and get out of and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that they can't have silly stuff because it just still has silly stuff. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Even Grand Theft Auto got craziness.
but
Come on.
I want to get back to that story that got grit, right? The one that got me into Saints Row in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
If we could get to that, hey man, that's you got me. And I'm not talking about the generation that jumped in to 3 and 4 and say this is the best of all time. You wasn't there when the servers were up and we was playing comp. I'm talking about competition Saints Row online.
Yeah,
I'm
facts.
matchmaking. I'm
Before really
saying the
GT
real
Online was popping, Saints Row had it.
yo, it was crazy. So if we can get back to that, that would be awesome. And they don't have to be a GTA, just be themselves. That's what made them awesome. You know what I
True
mean?
Crime
They
Streets
had
of LA was its own game, even though it was like a GTA type
it was
game. It
yeah,
was
it
its
had
own
this
game, just like
similar
Sleeping Dogs.
genre, but
Right,
you were your own
they
thing.
own
And that's
twist.
what they
Right.
that's what I'm saying. Be good at what they good at. They don't need to be nobody else, man. Hey, look, I was able to customize my character down to the socks I wore. You know what I mean? Like it was crazy.
Socks.
But
Everybody.
yeah,
Oh, my
to get
bad.
back, I always look forward. I'm glad that THQ's
Oh god,
coming
that took
back
me back to
strong
college
because
for a
after
minute.
what'd you say, Akuma?
I said that took me back to the university days for a minute there.
Oh, the
Yeah,
song?
Yeah, you know what song that is.
Go ahead, PK. We sorry, PK.
no,
We
you good. So like,
sorry.
I'm always excited for things that they got to show. I don't get me wrong, I'm a super fan of some IPs, but that doesn't mean I'm closed off for trying others.
Facts.
And I
Facts.
want to try the SpongeBob because my friends literally had a lot of fun collecting panties, and I think that is a good shit.
You sitting in
Hey,
your chair like this? I would love
hey,
to be
look,
a panty
it's
collector.
hey,
Facts.
listen, hey,
Yeah, I'm just sitting here with the
That
scripted eyes.
mm,
pong. With that being said,
yeah,
what up,
yeah, for
pong?
sure, for sure. But yeah, so for me, I'm looking forward to anything they bring out because I'm glad that they were able to recover. Because it was a long road, man. When they had to hit that what was it? They had to file for bankruptcy and they lost a lot. That
Yeah.
was a huge hit, man. Legit. But look, they coming back now, and I think that's a good thing, man. And now we probably get to be embodied for the future. I think they got a strong backing now.
Okay. Listen, man, my thing, let me tell y'all something right now. I'm a destroy all humans dude. And when they made the remaster, I ain't buy it. Backwards compatible. Why should I buy it? I'm not doing that.
Right.
But to see, this is what I was telling Sick behind the scenes. The thing that impressed me about THQ Nordic, and remember, THQ is gone. They just catch THQ, but it's really Nordic, okay? THQ is gone. What impressed me about this show, they didn't hit you with 1,000 bangers. They're not showing you big AAA special Horizon Zero Dawn graphics, Halo graphics, Forza graphics, Gears. They're not doing that. What they are giving you is solid experiences. And what made me respect the show yesterday, the 10th anniversary, was they brought a lot of sequels. Destroy All Humans, when they had the Godzilla monster and he took over the brain and all of a sudden he's controlling the Godzilla type monster. I'm for that. Outcast 2, Expeditions Rome. I love turn-based strategy RPGs. They had dropped another one with Superpowers 3. I'm like, I love those games. And that's Jagged Alliance 3, PC only. You know what I'm saying? I looked at those games and I was like, damn, I got something to look forward to. Are we looking over the top HDR, ray trace graphics, and all this craziness? Nah. We pick up a lot of indie titles that's 8-bit, 16-bit sprites that we go, damn, that was good, right? Look at that game Replaced that I'm looking forward to on my Xbox coming to that Game Pass hype train. You already know what we're doing. But that game is a 2D sprite game, side scroller, but it looks awesome. It looks like it's in a Blade Runner style universe. So everything is not about graphics, right? So when I saw that show yesterday, I had no high hopes for it. I had no anticipations. I just watched it. It's content for the channel. It's content for us. It's something to talk about. So I looked at the situation. I said, damn, THQ is not remastering anything. they're bringing sequels to games that people might like. Alex 2, I'm not really into that, but maybe the second one would be better than the first. Psychonauts 1, not a fan. Psychonauts 2, absolutely amazing. Those are the facts. Absolutely amazing. So you can have a sequel that brings something to the table. Like I told Sick, I said, listen, only thing I can commend is we didn't see a bunch of remakes. We saw second parts to titles, third parts to titles that people was interested in 10 years ago. I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? You got people hyped for Diablo 2. Shout out to Flemish. Resurrection. You know what I'm saying? Flemish like, lemon, childhood love. I love it, lemon, I love it. You know how Flemish be talking. Oh, I'm so hyped for that man. So when you look at certain things, it's like, all right, I can go with that. So I looked at that show for people who's fans of those games. Everything is not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, okay, bring something new. You know, I was like, oh, here we go with another 10 remakes and remasters and not even remakes, just remasters. I was like, yeah. But when I saw the show, I said, okay, they're bringing sequels, and that's what's up. But that's what I thought about it. We're gonna move into the next topic, man.
Wait. I don't see any announcements for Darksiders 4. That's what I want.
I mean,
want
but
some
that's a
Darksiders.
self-preference.
Yeah.
They did get you new Genesis, Darksiders Genesis. What's that top?
Yeah,
down?
I got that too.
I got that too. It's awesome. I bought that.
It's a sad story, but yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. But it's still an awesome game. You know what I'm saying? So now, something quick and light. Anybody could jump in. If you don't have no opinion, just don't talk about it. But we're gonna jump into Battlefield 2042, one of the games I'm highly anticipated. It's been dropped in less than 30 days from the original date of October 22nd to November 19th. Does anybody warrant or have anything negative or positive to say about this topic? It was something quick and easy. It's not too much, nothing we dwell on, but anybody can go. The Queen, Matrix, or Puffy, the Bleach version.
I got something real quick to say on it, man.
Son.
Ever since the situation with Cyberpunk, man, a lot of people.
We ain't talking about Cyberpunk.
Hold on. Can I get my point out first? Ever since the situation with Cyberpunk, everybody is a lot more accepting and understanding for
after
now.
Cyberpunk, right?
After Cyberpunk. People are a lot more accepting and understanding for now about delays of games, right? But for the Battlefield situation, you know, there's another big title looming right around the horizon from Battlefield, and that's Halo.
Who?
Right? Halo.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, it's a little bit of a touchy subject there as to how much they can delay it because they don't want to be too close to Halo.
They're not going nowhere near it. I guarantee you they won't go near it.
But
they're not going to Halo.
Right. But it was only a couple weeks, so it's all good. You know, if that's what they need, take it. Remember what happened to Battlefield 4.
It's 3.5 weeks to be exact.
Yeah. So let it be if that's what it needs, man.
All right. PK, you got any input? I know you're not a Battlefield dude. Akumo, I know you're not either. But y'all have any input on this day?
I played Battlefield. Remember, I told you I played.
Oh, you know what? You're right, sis. My bad.
Because time zones. I was like, come on.
Right. That's a fact. My bad. I forgot. It's PK. It's too masculine for PK. You know what I'm saying? He want to play Ali 3 or something.
Hey, look, man, you gonna put some respect on my name, okay? All right. I'll play some Battlefield, but I ain't never owned Battlefield. I played somebody else's Battlefield. But
you's a Battlefield borrower?
I played the Star Wars version. That's what I own.
Oh,
but
I got you. Oh yeah.
The Star Wars version.
Yes, it originally was on PC. That's a fact.
Yeah, that's what I played. So, but at the end of the day, man, I say that I don't think it's a big deal, but
Shout
some
out to
people
Palm
making
with
a
that
big
information. Go ahead.
I say a lot of people make it a big deal, but it's like, yo, you got too many games to be playing to be worrying about anything.
Not everybody. Okay.
Well, if that's I'm just saying, if you don't, that's a you problem.
That's a you problem.
You shouldn't be in the Twitter space or social media worrying about another company.
Let's go get them bulletproof vests, people. He's about to start.
At the end of the day, If you bored and you ain't got nothing to do, that means you got to think about your life choices because you're not making the right ones. If gaming is your hobby, you got to be able to make better choices with your hobby. If that's the case, at the end of the day, I said this before, like stuff happens, man. I don't know. Everybody don't do project work. I do, and you got a lot of complex situations that happen. People want to blame devs. Guess what? The devs ain't the ones who making these announcements saying something's going to come out. That's the marketing team, and the marketing team
Follows
is
the
ran
board.
by a whole nother side of the team.
Right.
You can't blame the people that's on the floor doing the work. They don't want to push their game out if it ain't ready. But they ain't got a choice if they're told to do so.
Facts.
All I'm saying is you got a lot of, especially when it's a big budget game, you got too many teams involved in this project. And you can't blame one or the other. You
Facts.
gotta understand
Got to
stuff
respect their
happens.
work ethic and everything they
Stuff
do.
happens.
Right.
Listen, especially if it's a big budget, right? When you got huge teams, not just like a 12-man team where they all can sit in the same room and talk to each other. I'm talking about where we're in a pandemic, we're working remote, and you're talking to your team that's doing the development, but the marketing team or the project manager on that team is talking to their CIO and whoever and giving them information, and they're making decisions based on what they think is best for the company and not what's best for everyone else. So you gotta like back up. Understand this is complex. Things happen when you work on project. There's all kinds of
108
stuff that happens.
Dragons
So
TV welcomes everyone.
at the end of the day, this is their job, and all you do is play a game.
Okay.
And that can't be the only game you got in the whole wide world just for this system. And if it is, I understand. However, you still got to make better decisions with your life if that's the case, because it doesn't make sense to have only one choice for gaming when we're out here. Game Pass is feeding us. THQ Nordic has a weekend a event going on Steam. You got all kinds of stuff going on that's going to give you content, and you sitting there worrying about one game getting pushed back 2 weeks.
Okay.
You, like really?
Right. I 100% agree with you, brother. And shout out to my man Invader Gaming. Let's talk about it. I got to get my DMX on. TXR. What up? Welcome to the building, baby.
What's up, buddy?
Always a pleasure to see you, my guy. You already know. Yeah. Listen, y'all know that's my game. I don't care. Delay it, fix it. Whatever needs to be taken, please don't release a game so broken. We waiting for 2 years of patches like Battlefield 4. I ain't mad at you. Take your time. Let's get it out. Let's get it done, because let the bodies hit the floor. Because when the game come out, that's gonna be part of that competitive co-op game night. And thank God. Shout out to my other brother in the building. GG is in the
108
building. And for
Dragons
those
TV
that know,
welcomes
that would
Graphic
be
God.
Graphic God. What's up, brother? Good to see you in the building. Good to see you. Now we're gonna keep moving with these topics. We moving real well. You already know. Now we're gonna get into a situation, man. And this is an Xbox situation. It's not a good situation for me, right? It's rumored that Xbox is having a smaller, cheaper external SSD. Now people go, "Oh yeah, that's great." But I'm gonna give you my perspective, and I want y'all to follow up. And we're gonna start with PK after I speak. Smaller and cheaper. Smaller is memory, cheaper's for your pocket. I get it. But games like Halo, Call of Duty, NBA 2K, the list goes on. When games start touching 100 gigs downloads, we can go back to a game that's 720p, that's 174 gigabytes of memory. Quantum Break. When you want these graphics, you want these special effects, you want ray tracing, and we're going to get into that later on. If they make it, if they're probably going to split it in half, they would never make a 256 hard drive. It's probably going to be 512, right? So now, Shout out to Paris in the chat. 4G, Four Guys with Quarters, panel member was good. Good to have you, my brother. Listen. Everybody like, yeah, these memory cards, these SSDs for PS5, they're expensive. First of all, they're PCI Express Lane 4 cards and SSDs. It's not cheap. It's not cheap on PC. It won't be cheap for console, right? You want next level graphics, you want next level loading and all this stuff. Now you got to pay for it. I've been saying it since 2019, 2018. Nobody believed me. So now we here today. So now, if they make a cheaper SSD at 512, cut the price in half. It's $219 now. Make it $110. You're gonna waste your money. And this is the truth. If you buy a 500 gigabyte SSD, it's gonna take about 3 big games: Halo, Forza, Gears. That hard drive is useless, and that's a fact. So with that being said, and this is a rumor, but I think it's a possibility just to get people to make this purchase. But PK, we're gonna go to you with this, man. Being that the IT man that you are, is it even worth Microsoft to make the 512 version of what they currently got from the 1 terabyte with today's standards and sizes for SSDs? And I'm gonna tell you something that's crazy. I deleted Warzone and just added the online side. It's still 200 gigs. So you tell me from the IT perspective. Maybe you could tell me something I might not know, brother. But please explain this to the people, what this means, and will it be a difference for the community? Will it be a difference? Talk to me.
I mean, rationally high level, you always want more storage, but when you look at the perception, it's more or less your competitor is allowing smaller drives. So it's a perception thing. You should have options. You should have options for all the consumers, because some consumers might see that as a value to them, even if it's not in reality.
Right. Okay.
And I think that is the idea. So whether it's value to you or me, we probably want more.
More is always better for us, but we buy a lot of games.
To some people, people were buying Xbox Gold monthly when they could just pay $60 a year. Remember, they were paying monthly, and even though it seemed like it doesn't bring value to us because we'll just pay the annual, to them that's cheaper because they can afford a $10 a month sub rather than paying and you got to look at it like that. Like, you have to give them options. That's why the Xbox All Access exists. It's not because you or me can't go and drop the money on the system. It's there to give someone an option who might not see that as or they might see that as a roadblock, that they can't just drop $300 to $500 on a console. Well, then Microsoft created a system which is crazy, because it's not like you're paying interest. You're paying for the system. And actually, you're getting it cheaper because, yes, you're paying the system plus Game Pass. But if you do the math, you're actually saving like $35 if you add it up.
That's a fact.
So, but at the same time, it's an option to the consumers that may not see that as a thing for them. This might be a better option, even though it's really no difference.
They're gonna end up buying 2 anyway, but go ahead. If they buy a lot of games.
But you get what I'm saying. So
no, you're right.
I think at the end of the day, options is good.
You finished?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Shout out to my brother. He bleed green all day. Others Inc. No, this is good for the budget little Timmy's grandma to buy when Timmy doesn't have many games. And you know what? Sometimes when you on a higher echelon of purchasing, you forget what it can mean for somebody else. So that's why I needed somebody to bring me back down to size. That's a fact. And first of all, I could tell Pong be watching Men in Black, and I'm gonna leave that at that. Just look at his statement. I'm gonna leave that alone. But anyway, shout out to Palm and my man GG in the building. But sick, no, Kumu, we ain't heard from you in a minute. Talk to me. What did you think about this whole 512 thing? It's probably gonna be 512. They would never bring out 256 because that would be absolutely absurd. So they probably gonna cut it in half, go to 512. Tell me what you think as a consumer. Would it help bring down at like 120, 125? Would it help the average consumer, even though it's a cut in half memory?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's just Others Think was right on it. Like exactly. I mean,
Right.
you have people that don't have a lot of games. Like I have one of my cousins, right? She doesn't have a lot of games. She has the games she likes. She occasionally plays. But she's probably like she's in all honesty probably the average gamer. She doesn't have like a whole
Right,
library of
right. She don't
games.
have the massive games, right?
Right. Right. So yeah, I think absolutely this is something that the average gamer who just needs that little bit more.
I got you.
And it's not gonna, like break their banks or anything like that. And it's just that little bit more that they're gonna need to continue kind of just playing what they want to play. They're not looking for that whole go big or go home. They're just like, I just want to play what I want
Right.
to
Have
play
access.
and,
Right.
and I want to have fun with it. So
Okay.
absolutely, I think this is good. At looking average gamer wise and everything, like yeah, absolutely. And say that's what I said. For me, it's because I have my cousin. She's probably the only one out of the rest of my family, other than one of my nieces, who plays the games. But my niece is a little bit like me. We like our games. So like you were saying, having somebody to kind of keep you on that level.
Right,
My
right,
cousin,
right. Bring you down to earth. Facts, facts.
right, my cousin does that to me because she'll call me and be like, "Oh, this is what I'm looking for," and I'm like, "Da-da-da," and she goes, "Okay, hey, wait a minute now." She goes, "I don't need all that." She goes, "All I need," and it's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah."
Okay,
So
okay.
yeah, looking at it like if I'm looking like through her eyes, yeah.
And shout out to Back from the Dead. You've been in here, brother. I'm trying to do 100 things. I'm producing and all this stuff, videos, whatever, whatever. Shout out to Back from the Dead. Shout out to my brother. Listen, but I'm gonna say this for the record. I was gonna buy an expansion card for my Xbox Series S for my bedroom. Now I have an Xbox Series S, right? And I really have all my extensions of YouTube TV, HBO Max, Disney Plus, Netflix, Hulu. I don't play games in my bedroom. But I said, yo, when I look at the hard drive space, it's 337 gigabytes of memory. So I said, yo, I need to buy an expansion slot. So I said, why would I buy this card? And it damn near costs as much as the system. So you know what? Technically, if they did bring out a 512 model at half the price, I wouldn't mind spending 120, 130 bucks to plug it in there. And then I would download some games because I download the games like Ascent, the smaller games, the indie games that I'm going to pick up and play my games in the bedroom, not the major games, not Call of Duty, not all that. I still didn't go buy my new TV yet. I was supposed to, but to take advantage of the 120 and everything else, I didn't get involved with that. But now I'm speaking to y'all, that would be a good option. Everything don't mean aim for the fences. Don't hit a grand
Hmm.
slam. How about getting to first base and be able to talk
Right.
to the first base coach? So you know what? Thank you for bringing me down to earth, you and PK. Now, Sick, talk to me, because we got some things to talk about later, man. Yeah, we be busting out these topics. I love my panel. My panel is the truth. The
I wanted
truth.
I want to throw one thing in there, has nothing to do with the topic, but I feel
Uh-oh.
really bad because I'm on my phone a lot right now. That's because I'm not in my usual setup, so I'm actually talking through my phone. I'm not ignoring anybody. I just feel really bad because I realize how it might look.
Oh, damn. Yeah. I try to say the same thing. They be like, yo, Lemon, you didn't shout me out. I'll be like, yo, dude, I can't watch the chat, do the pop-ups, do the sound effects. I'm doing everything over here. But listen, man, Sick, talk about this and how do you feel? And I know you a high echelon dude when it comes to stuff, but did PK and the Kumu kind of bring you down to earth? Like, yeah, y'all might be right, because I feel like that right
Mm.
now.
They didn't bring me down to earth because I was with them from the beginning. But as
Okay.
your friend, man, I'm not going, repeat these same things, make you feel any kind of worse. But
You can't.
enough said that I agree with them, right?
You can't make me. I don't feel bad because I could pay for something. I just said it makes sense. I didn't say
Yeah,
I
it
feel
makes
bad
sense.
because I'm gonna
Understand
buy
that, right?
another
So
1 terabyte. I said it kind of makes sense, which it does.
Right. It does. And
Right.
and I'm on the same lane with them. But also I want to add to that the whole concept of little Timmy, right? But it's
Little
really on
Timmy.
Microsoft to be aggressive
Zink
with the
stupid.
pricing. No, but it's the facts, man. That's the situation. Like, I said before, even before the Series S was out, that Xbox All Access was something, I definitely when moms and stuff were asking me over the holidays,
Mm-hmm.
that was the thing I pointed to. It just makes logical sense, And so, 512 card is something that they definitely gonna want. Definitely something they're gonna want. But the onus is on Microsoft to be aggressive with the pricing. If they can be really aggressive, which I'm not expecting because it's really tough, especially now. But even if it wasn't for COVID and all the shortages and everything, it would still be tough them. But if they could be really aggressive with the pricing, that would be a really good look.
Okay. So we're gonna move into the next topic, man. Now, damn, I'm gonna mix this up because one of these topics I'm really excited for. So we're gonna get back into this. Lord, man. Yo, I hate beating on companies. Y'all know how I give it up. I don't want to harp on no company. I don't want to talk bad about nobody, but Activision, god damn. Y'all in the blender. Yo, they are definitely putting themselves in the blender. God damn, they are in the blender. And you know what? The whole time that my man Graphic Guard made that animation, I have not used it. I should have been using it off every episode that we've been talking about them, but they've been putting themselves in the blender, man. You know what? I gotta show y'all again. God damn, they in the blender. Activision, man. It's like every week we getting news, terrible news, terrible news, bad news, goddamn news. What the hell y'all doing over there, news? Listen. State of the Union had to fight for slavery, right? When the Union was in the North, they fought for slavery to be free. So this is a union-based country. To hear Activision put threats out there to stop the workers from forming a union, threatening families, threatening salaries, threatening jobs. Well, goddamn. Is Activision a gaming company or the mafia? I have no clue at this point. They sound like they're gangsters. It was like maybe Rudolph Giuliani need to take their business away from them like he did the mobsters in New York. Because this is crazy. You threatening people's families because they
Dripping
wanted
hair
to put
dye
a
and
union? Like, is people going to disappear like Hoffa? Like, what are they doing in Activision? I mean, like, yo, come on, people. Chat, talk to me. This is crazy. We talking about people who make things that make people happy. They're gangsters in Activision. We talking about gangsters. They threaten people's families. Come on, man. I'm going to start with you, Sick. Please. I hate destroying Activision. And no, I'm not supporting the new Call of Duty. But
Me neither.
God damn.
I was disappointed before all this
They
came
different.
out. But listen, man.
It's starting to make me think, man, maybe the mob controls the video game industry. I don't know. It's like playing Grand Theft Auto in real life. Talk to me. What did you think about the latest facts? Because they're not accusations. They was threatening people's families. Sick. Talk to me. Talk to me. Give me your thoughts, please.
Typical crooked corporation. Right? Like, look at the asshat, pardon my French, who's at the top of this company in the first place, right? Like,
Facts.
I ain't got nothing but smoke for this. Like, if I continue speaking, I'm gonna curse a lot more. So just, I ain't got.
You ain't gotta go there. We can articulate ourselves better.
I ain't got no love for these people. Enough said. particularly the way they acted, man. It's just
Yo, listen. I don't know.
Not getting my money.
Shout out to my boy Michael Rappaport. That's my guy, man. But he did a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger called The Sixth Sense. And it was a big corporation cloning people, and they didn't want people to know. And first of all, they was cloning everything. And the owner died, and he got cloned. When anybody heard about it, they was putting hits on people's families to keep people's mouth shut. So when I read this, The Sixth Sense popped right into my mind. I said, God damn, that and Total Recall. You ain't gonna lie, I was like, that's the only two movies. Well, not the only two, but that's the major two movies that popped in my mind when I thought when you went against a corporation. Oh, and RoboCop. RoboCop, homeboy was doing all them drugs. They rolled up on him and took his behind out. That corporation had the thugs on deck. I'm just saying. We don't go to you, Akuma. I'm just saying. Listen, I know it's business out in these streets, but it looks like people are trying to really handle their business in these streets. Like, threatening people's families? Come on. I can see you say, yo, you gonna get fired. All right. If you don't, yo, you gonna say that we picking on women around here? We squeezing butts like Mike Tyson? Oh, we gonna pull up on your grandmoms. So please, Akumu, when you heard these accusations, talk to me. What did you think?
Kind of bounced off what you were saying. I just had that whole thing, the saying, the sleep with one eye open.
Woo.
But I mean,
Matter of fact, I'm about to load up right now because we talking about Activision. I want nobody kicking my door for Activision with they little, what you call them? With they Splinter Cell goggles on, with they green infrareds coming in here. Yeah. You come in here, I'm sending them shots right back. Okay.
I mean, shoot.
Sam Fisher coming after Lemon. Disrespect.
But it's kind of like, like we talked about it before. This is something that I'm still keeping an eye on. It's something that obviously I'm interested in and everything. And it's really
it's worse, sis. It's worse. It's not just about being feminist, homophobic. No. This is gangster. Like,
right. And,
this is gangster.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It feels like every time I blink, there's something else that's being released that they've done, and it's like there's at one point where you're just like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what to think anymore.
It's never ending. It really is.
Yeah, it's never ending. So it's like, oh, this comes out, and it's kind of that whole thing of like, okay, this is. I mean, yeah, this is just crazy.
Yeah, this is
but
crazy.
you're on that brink, excuse me, of the whole. At this point, I wish I could say I was surprised.
Right. No.
Like
I was surprised with this. I was surprised with this one. I can see all the other stuff, but this here. I live in the worst neighborhood in Brooklyn. This sounds like some shit off the corner on my block.
Right.
I'm telling you, this is different. This is different.
And I'm not saying you're not I'm not saying that in the literal sense. It's just that saying, I wish I could be surprised. I don't mean it in the literal sense as so much as the saying, as in like, yeah, because believe me, no, I was absolutely surprised to find out, like, oh my gosh, you took it that far where you're threatening your workers' families. Like, threatening anybody is already just totally wrong.
And what could you say? Oh, I'll curse out your mother. Family. I'll curse your moms out. What could you possibly say to threaten somebody's family, but I'll take your family out of here? Like,
right, exactly.
Like literally, like what could you say? Mm-hmm. What would be the threat if they don't work for you? Like,
right? No,
it sounds like death threats.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying, because you be playing the online matches. You be playing the online matches, and you have the people that always are like, "Oh, I'm gonna, blah blah blah," and I'm like, "Yeah." So what else can you say? So that there'd be some real threats. So it's just like, but it's like I said, at the same time, it's just like, with everything coming out about this company, I'm just like, I knew it was gonna get worse.
This is the worst I've ever heard in history of gaming. It's the worst.
I just felt like I'm surprised, but at the same time, it hits where it's just like, I mean, I knew it was gonna get worse. I didn't know it was gonna get this bad, but
Facts.
you're like, but I knew it was gonna get worse. I knew it was gonna get worse.
This is crazy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, and it's absolutely insane. And it's just like, I know I saw like one meme about it, and it was like the two guys, and it was like the EA passing a trophy of the worst video game. And EA was like, I never thought I'd have to give this up, and they're giving it to them. And
Facts.
I'm
Facts.
like, yeah, because I mean, like you said before, I mean, EA was known as a bad company, but just because how they worked them, not because of all of this. But I mean, there's low, and then there's low.
Activision.
Right.
There's
Right.
low
Right.
and then there's
And
Activision.
that's what they're hitting, and it's just like,
This is crazy. Okay.
yeah, I was
Okay.
like,
All right, PK. Listen, man. I swear to God, man. If you don't do this podcast every Saturday, 6 o'clock, man, I'm telling you, man, your wife gonna disappear. I'ma call of duty her ass.
Oh, wow.
Imagine that, PK. Imagine that.
Some men out there would say, "Oh, thanks for the favor," and when you're coming over, um, uh, you know,
Oh my God, PK stupid.
honestly, companies do this all the time. This ain't nothing new.
Threaten families?
Yeah, you just don't
Yeah.
hear it because
Typical corporation. Yep.
they settle out in court. They
Yo,
keep it
people
hush.
in chat, please tell me, have you ever heard of any company doing this besides the mafia?
You
Follow up
don't.
on PK's statement. Not that you're wrong, PK. I don't disagree with you, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You won't hear it because they pay them off and they make them sign contracts not to talk about it.
Embargoes. Like if you we'll take the money back. Facts.
Well, they can sue you. You could go to jail, right?
Well, that
All
too.
kinds of stuff.
Right.
But point I'm making is they set out a court on purpose. Like they have all kinds of stuff happen.
Mm-hmm.
But the good thing is this is coming to the light on this company in particular. So
Other Zinc, shout out to you, brother. See you next time. Go ahead, son. I'm sorry.
Peace.
yeah. No worries. The thing is, it's a good thing that people are getting like a glass panel to be able to see what has been going on. No, it might not happen to you, might not happen to someone in the audience, but let me just be honest. You work for a giant corporation. There's a lot of SHIT things that they do to a lot of their people.
Facts.
And you have no idea how dirty they can
A
get.
gag order. Thank you, Bloody. You're right. Go ahead, son. That's what it's called.
So it happens and it's real.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like I said, I think it's great that the community and the people are getting a microscope on what is going on. It's coming out. Things like this just don't hit the public. But for this to hit the public and all this stuff that they've been going through, that is huge and detrimental to their brand.
Facts.
Like, and I know a lot of people are Call of Duty fans and Overwatch fans and all these, and I'm one. But and I'm not telling nobody to take sides and boycott and none of that, but this is going to affect the product at the end game.
Facts.
It's going to, because a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. A lot of people are going to leave their jobs.
But I got a question for you, brother. Did you think now with this happening, do you think Bungie knew this was going down and wanted out?
I'm sure a lot of people knew and were aware of things because they were too close not to. But again, they don't speak on it because they don't want the smoke to hit their brand. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want that drama. I ain't got nothing to do with them. They want to stay out of it.
I mean, but it happens all the time. And it's unfortunate because a lot of people don't see it because they typically keep it hush hush, settle out of court, pay these people some money to shut up and move on. Trust, it happens. I mean, like I said, I told you there's this doctor, and over here there was a hospital that this doctor was killing patients. He called it mercy killing. That's what he called it, mercy killing.
Not Dr. Kevorkian, right?
No, he had a different name.
Okay.
But point is, he was around. He was doing this for a while. He was doing it, and nobody even knew that's what he was doing. They caught him eventually, but he felt in his mind he was doing the right thing. But what they did was they paid these families out of pocket to keep it on the hush, even though the hospital lost their ability to practice medical. They changed it into a rehab hospital instead to keep it open. But they cannot practice. They couldn't have real doctors practicing any kind of medical procedures or any of that stuff in the hospital ever again because of this one guy. And nobody, it didn't hit the news. It wasn't that huge, but we knew about it because we live here, but it wasn't huge because they paid a lot of people to be quiet.
Thanks.
And that happens all the time. Think about people that work for psychiatrists or any kind of doctor, maybe a dentist who make some sort of inappropriate advances, and you don't hear about this in the news, but it happens. And all I'm saying is that's what happens. Is they'll get their insurance involved. They'll pay them a big lump sum, tell them be quiet and move on. That's what it is. That's why they have insurance, not because they are worried about their business going under. No, they have insurance for these lawyers to draw money from, to pay people off
cover the BS.
when stuff happens.
Facts.
That's what it's for.
Yeah, and you're absolutely correct, because that actually reminded me of a place that I used to work. We had a supervisor that got in trouble. He was from another place. And yeah, it was basically that. And they paid off the person that he harassed, and then they demoted him from like the manager to supervisor, and then shuffled him away to another to another area, which happened to be ours. They do that at my job too.
But I'm gonna tell you something. Go ahead, sis. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying. So yeah, it's absolutely, PK's absolutely right. Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you something, man. I got a great job. I got great pay. I got 401k. I'm gonna have a great pension when I retire. But if you threaten my family, off with your head. Allison Wonderhand status. Like,
look, 108. You know,
y'all bugging.
108. They only gonna do it. Listen. They only do it to the people they know they could get away with.
Right. Because I'm telling you, threaten my family. Oh,
that's why you never heard about
like. It's like, look. What could they possibly say to threaten your family? It's not getting fired. It had to be a direct threat. Like when I heard, I'm like, listen.
Yeah.
As much as I love my job and I make great money, if you threaten my family, it's off with your head. Allison Wonderland status. And shout out to the big wet in the building. Shout out to original 108 in the 108 Dragons in the building.
That's right.
But listen, man, we gonna move on. The next time we talk about Activision, it's either gonna be Microsoft bought them out, like the racist dude from the Clippers.
Wow.
Steve Ballmer bought them, or I don't want to discuss this no more. We got one more free smoke situation, man. And shout out to the big wet. It's funny he said something now, but Gran Turismo ray tracing in the garage modes and replay only. Now this is what I wanted to talk about. Now I don't like crapping on nobody. I don't like talking about those games. I'm a Gran Turismo player. Listen. Ray tracing is not the answer for everything, right? People throw around ray tracing like it's free water. Ray tracing take away other hardware and software abilities because it's very resource demanding, right? So now, when Forza Horizon said, right now we don't have ray tracing in the game. Only in whatever they call their photo mode, right? People was making videos all over the internet, acting crazy. How dare they? Don't put ray tracing while the game is being played. So I said, it's a racing game. If they put ray tracing in it and you driving past a building at 190 miles an hour, you don't got time to look at a fancy reflection. Dudes was like, you're pacifying the deficiencies of 4 to 5. I said, no. you don't know what ray tracing entails and how much it demands and will take away from the game. So now they got screen-based reflections that transform into ray tracing in Forza, and the video stopped being made. And now, just this week, Tuesday to be exact, I can't think of his name, and I'm not going to hack his name up, but they went out to say, Sony, we do not have ray tracing in the active game, but only in replays and photo mode. And the PlayStation community or the Xbox community that tried to thrash a Forza game with 12K textures, never seen before graphics in any racing game using old Forza tech. It's been quiet as a church mouse about ray tracing in Gran Turismo 7. Now, with this being said, why haven't we seen the same smoke from E3 with Gran Turismo this week? Is it because Sony always gets a pass and people are wearing blue lipstick? Or
Spoiler, yes.
Or maybe I'm just overlooking something. We're going to start off with you, PK. Talk to me. Is it just another pass for Sony? Or was Lemon right in saying ray tracing shouldn't belong in racing games because you can't see it anyway at the speeds? Talk to me.
I think
Dread Pool in the building. Go ahead, son.
I won't go far and say it don't belong. However, I will say that
facts.
I will say that our
You say you won't go as
technology,
far as that.
right. The reason why I'll say that is because right now our technology just not advanced enough for it to have all that and do all the other post-processing effects at the same time and maintain the level of quality that you're looking for. At some point, we'll get to that point, but we're not there yet. So
maybe FSR will help it.
FSR will definitely
and I ain't
help.
gonna get you started. Don't start it. Don't start it.
I'll relax. I'm not going there.
I know how you are with FSR.
FSR will help, but I'm just saying in general,
is the FSR police, and if anybody
I don't
does
care
not
if it's
believe that,
I don't
that's the
care if it's
facts.
Intel. I don't care if it's DLSS. I don't care what kind of, upscaling technique. It will always help, but that's the point. We need the upscaling in order to do it. It can't do it natively and maintain that level of performance. So it's asking a lot. And especially when you're dealing with a open world huge game like a racing title,
Not a track-based open world.
not a what do you call a what do they call that of what is motorsport? It's a
open world racer.
No, not motorsport.
Track-based.
Forza Horizon is open world, but motorsport is
Motorsport is track. It's closed.
Yeah.
It's a closed environment. Closed environment.
It's a little easier because you're not loading an entire environment
They
with a
load
bunch
the
of
track
people.
one time. It's closed environment. Go ahead, continue.
So, but I'm just saying, at the end of the day, people don't even know what ray tracing is. Don't even realize that it's not even enabled in most games.
Mm-hmm.
That's
most games that they play don't even have it. You know what you should be crying about? Not having HDR in a lot of your games. Okay, if you want to complain, let's talk about that. That should be enabled. That should be nothing said but a word, because every game going forward should have
HDR.
the flexibility of some HDR. I don't care which one you have
10-bit.
Or all of them.
Not the fake 8-bit that Red Dead Redemption 2 got.
I'm talking about real HDR.
Real
that
HDR.
Should be,
10-bit
that should be embedded in every game going forward. That is, I won't say every game like lower end games, like indies or whatnot. I'm talking about these.
Indies don't count.
I'm talking about the high budget games that you guys are crying about. You want all this stuff. Yo, HDR changes the game when you're looking at something that pretty.
Like, so you look HDR.
If that's not standard, then what are we doing?
Facts.
Ray tracing is not standard. That's just reflection post-processing that drags down the performance. And you guys got to understand, until you actually, even on PC, it struggles with ray tracing, and you're complaining about game stuff.
Should I go get my bulletproof vest? You about to start throwing shots?
Yo, you come at Forza for running at 30 frames with ray tracing and not understanding how much of a
hindrance
that is.
Impact, right?
And
you know
that's,
why? Because
and again,
they're using it as cannon fodder words. They
now
don't
think about it.
understand ray tracing. But continue.
At the end of the day, if they could get it running at 4K at 30, that's impressive. Locked at 30 at that.
Facts.
And people don't understand that. No. Now, yes, upscaling technique could get it to 60 and lock it at 60. That's 100%. They can. But again, anytime you add something to a graphic fidelity, you got to sacrifice something. When you add resolution, you're sacrificing something.
Facts.
And that's just what it is. So if you want it all, guess what they have to do? This is what they did. They developed upscaling so that they can reduce the amount of data that the GPU or the hardware is receiving to put more stuff in it so it can do more. It gives it the bandwidth. It's like clearing your desk and giving you more room to work.
Facts.
That's what it's like. So I think that people needed, this is the people that was trashing Forza is getting a wake-up call.
But they, you know,
all the
dreams later, they
dreams,
couldn't trash Forza because they put ray tracing in the game, which I didn't care about. But okay.
At the end of the day, it's like start this, and I'm talking to the people who want to do console wars. You're talking about a console. I'm saying if PC is struggling, what do you think a console is going to do?
I'm talking about
and I'm not saying that they. And I'm not saying that they can't get you there, right? They could definitely get you there, get you to 4K with ray tracing, but it's going to take something else to give them that bandwidth to be able to give you that. And only console that has the kits is on the Xbox brand.
Whoa.
I'm not saying.
No, we don't do that.
I'm not saying.
You can't be preaching the facts.
I'm not saying that the other brand will get it, because it definitely can, and it's open source for a reason.
Facts.
However, they're not partnered with the people who created the technology in the first place.
Okay.
They need to get with them and say, how do we get it so that it works for us too?
I got you. All right. We're going to move on. Shout out to Dirt Greg in the chat. You know what I'm saying? I know you enjoyed that Bleed Green episode. You know what I'm saying? You got my man Sick on. You in the building. Wanna Wait Dragons TV. Dragons Den, we in the building. Let's go. I see the chat is lit. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it, man. We're going to keep moving. Before we get to, we need to break this IT monotony up, because you two IT dudes ain't going back to back. So we going to go to the queen of the Dragons Den, baby. You are Queen Dragzilla. And that is a compliment. So listen, I know you possibly don't care about ray tracing. You game hard. You game harder than most of these men out here. You know what I'm saying? These men wearing thongs, you wearing boy shorts. They don't even know what you bringing to the table. So with that being said, do you even care about ray tracing in Gran Turismo? Do you play racing games? Does it matter? Talk to me, sis. Then we're gonna go to Sick.
I play racing games. Again, like the only games that I don't play because I don't have the interest are like the sports game, right? The Madden, the soccer games, so I do some racing games. Going off that, you're right. I don't care.
Let's go. I know you game. I challenge any female panelist to my sister. Let's go. She games.
To me, that's what it is. Okay. I'm like, am I having fun? Yes. Okay. I'm one of the people that I don't care about ray tracing.
You don't care about fancy reflections in waters and windows?
I don't. I mean, like,
me either.
I mean, that's the thing. I don't. Like, I hear people go back and forth, like, all day, and I'm just like, you know what? Y'all argue. I'm having fun.
Facts.
Whether or not I can see the spinach between my teeth, I'm good.
Yo, listen, I play Call of Duty Black Ops, Cold War, right? I turned ray tracing off. You know what I love playing in? 120 hertz, 120 frames per second. Ray tracing didn't do nothing for me. The game looks beautiful in 120. I don't need fancy. I don't need to see a neon light in the bar in the first scene and then see it in my cup. Who cares?
You're talking to someone. You're talking to someone who will also still play those 8-bit games.
Facts. A lot of people are.
Exactly. Don't get me wrong. We've talked about it before. You know my love of like the graphics and when the environments and so don't get me wrong, but ray tracing I just don't care about because I'm like, you know what? I was like, I don't have to see everything. I don't have to, like you said, the reflections and everything.
In a glass.
I'm a person who will still play 8-bit games. You know, I'll still play classic
and
games in 8-bit. Yeah, I'll still play the new games that the people style in the 8-bit style. So I'm just like, at the end of the day, for me, it's just really, am I having fun? Yes, I don't need ray tracing.
Right. I don't need ray tracing either. Plus, anything that take it away from something else for me, I don't want it. So we're going to move into sick, man. And shout out to Jeremy Brown. He says in the chat, 60 and 120 frames per second is the truth. And brother, that is a fact. And I had to be corrected because, first of all, I'll still take 4K 30 with excellent visuals over 60. But 60 is definitely where everything should be. But I will still take a game at 4K 30 with all the bells and whistles and every special effects turned on. I will still play it and have no problem. But I do agree with you. And Bloody Knuckles kind of like, yo, son, everything need to be... I said, shut your behind up, man. I want graphics. But I kind of agree with that. Stick, talk to me. Free smoke. Free smoke.
I got some free smoke because I got a different opinion. Before I get to that, though.
Why you always got a sub-opinion? You ever notice that panel when people...
Because I'm my own man. I don't have to sit there and agree with everybody else. I think
you
for
don't
myself.
Got to, bro. I'm just teasing. I'm teasing.
And if anybody feels any different, hey, tough. You can come and discuss, you know? It's all discussion about gaming. And yo, so listen.
Like, before I say this, let me tell you this first. Go ahead. I'm playing. I'm teasing you. Go ahead.
Oh, Jesus. You really had something to say. Don't tell me what you do.
No. That's what you. I just said what you. I'm just pointing out what you do, bro. You be like, yo, you know what? Before I get into that, let me just say one thing. I brought my mom's flowers and I love her. I'd be like, wow.
It's something you were talking about. It was something you were talking about that 60. About 60 hertz.
Son, I'm teasing. Go ahead.
So like, yo, you know, this hardware is at a point now where everybody thinks, oh, we can just do 60 frames on everything. But it doesn't matter. And this is, I've said this many times, it doesn't matter how powerful your hardware is, because you could just drop the frame rate to 30 and you have more horsepower available to do other things.
Way more horsepower.
The same thing with ray tracing. Most of the ray tracing implementations, they require some kind of upscale where the game is really running at some kind of lower resolution.
Dynamic resolution. Dynamic.
Yeah, dynamic resolution or being upscaled or whatever.
Everything
they're using to save on performance to get that ray tracing implemented, right? And still not affect everything else, right? So my issue is it's like we have 120 hertz now. Yo, it wasn't that long ago it was. The PC had 120 hertz and 144 hertz and even like 165. Right. And the console dudes were like, who the hell needs that? We barely got 60. We barely got, proper smooth 30, right?
But so you know why they said that? The TVs wasn't capable back then.
Well, the consoles weren't either.
No. But if the TVs was capable, they would make a console. But they was so far behind with PC with frame rates. But continue.
But the consoles, support these monitors. Shout out to the 360 coming out with that VGA cable. You know what I'm saying? When people didn't have HD was a new thing. People use PC monitors. Even back then, I would say that about these consoles back then. If the consoles could have been able to do it, even if the TVs could not, even if it was only for a small, segment of games here and there, people would have messed with it. Just like with HD. Just like with HD in the original Xbox, it was only a small segment of games, but it was there for the people who could afford it and do it. You yourself was able to,
Right.
And so it's the same with ray tracing. A lot of people are like, I don't need ray. Yeah, because the hardware we have right now can't just do every effect, and you want to joke about the about the effects, oh, the reflection of glass and all of that. But yo, like in Battlefield, which was I think the first game that was really, out there, what they showed about the reflections, like if a dude is creeping up behind you,
I think it was one, right? And but it was on PC, and it was so demanding, and the 2080 Ti couldn't even do it properly.
But
they tried to show like fire in the dude's retina. I was like, who the hell got time to look at that? They had the super slow motion it, and I said nobody cares about looking at reflections in your eye sockets. And you playing a first person shooter, but they're using resources for something you never see in the game.
Hold on.
All right, my bad. I just wanted to bring that point up because I'm not a ray tracer fan.
But one of the tactical aspects of what they demonstrated was, okay, who cares about reflection in the eyeball? It's just to show you that it could work, right? I guarantee you they probably have turned it off. I would hope by now, okay? Because that's definitely
it's just
no good reason. Just turn that shit off. I'm sure they did. But, there's also a tactical advantage because in Call of Duty, you could hear your enemy unless they're crouching, right? If they're doing that crouch walking, now you can't hear them. But you might be able to see their reflection. You might be able to see their shadow and whatnot. That's a tactical advantage that could be useful in the game, right? It depends on the game. What PK was saying before, he wasn't, too ready to co-sign what you said at the end there. It's because that's what it is. When it's hard and uncommon now, the knee-jerk reaction is, oh, we don't need that, blah, blah. Don't worry about it. It's just like with this 120 hertz and this HDR. Soon enough, it'll be everywhere. When the technology's up to stuff, it'll be everywhere. Okay, and nobody's gonna be like, oh, who needs it? But for now, it's a bullet point. If you
but
could have
also
it in your
takes
game,
so much away though, Sig.
Right. I get
it's
all
like
that.
a negative.
Right, but they want that bullet point up
right,
there.
like, oh, we can do it.
And if you notice, I'm not even really I'm talking about the main subject of the topic is, because it's just the console war over and over and over again. Of course, these PlayStation heads was out here talking all that talk, rah, up until their game is shown, and all of a sudden it's not there either. So, the Xbox fans are going to come back at them. So it's this back and forth all day, all the time. It's the same inane crap, and I'm tired of hearing it. But hey, you talk that talk, now you got to keep the same energy. You don't have it. But you started that, you PlayStation heads, not those Xbox guys. But and I'm sure there's like a couple of dudes who did because we expected it out of you in the first place. But in the end, these features and technologies, they're new. When they're new, they take a lot. They take a lot to do. But eventually, it's going to be the standard. They're going to have to come up with techniques and other things. But to just dismiss it, especially in the early going, that's going to kill it before it becomes something that you're going to love and depend on in the future. Okay, like this 120 hertz will one day be.
All right.
And it's fast becoming.
Yo, Dreadpool, you're 100% right. You're a fool. You're a fool, Dread. Always a pleasure. Now, we're going to get we down to 3 topics, man. We be busting out 10, 11, 12 topics in 2 hours. Let's go. Your boy Lemon is always on 1,000. Now, we're going to talk about this terrible rumor that I hope somebody done dropped the ball and did not get this right. Sega to announce a new RPG during Tokyo Game Show, and it is rumored to be a mobile new IP. Okay, I'm going to the Sega connoisseur first, and then I'm going to go to my sister. But PK.
You always got titles for me, man.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. You said Sega connoisseur.
Well, you are. I'm a Sega connoisseur, but I can't talk about myself. I'm the host. So, with that being said, Sega connoisseur.
Fine, I'll talk about you. You straight crazy. No.
Well, that too, you know what I'm saying? People show up because I'm a little extra, you know what I'm saying? But the energy is positive, you know what I'm saying? But PK, Switch Police, El Capitan, I told you running neck and neck with my man Cognito. I didn't leave Cognito out. But anyway.
Interject.
Talk to me, PK. Is this good news or you like, oh, really? Y'all going to announce a new RPG for mobile? Tell me what this did for you.
It's not a
Rumor.
It's not a rumor. It has now been confirmed that it is
Oh my
mobile.
god.
Yeah, so it came out that they just released a teaser for it.
God. Okay, so how do you
But
feel? Just tell me how you feel.
However,
He said, however. Here we go.
yes, they may have dropped the teaser for this new mobile game. That does not mean that there's not a Persona 5, Persona
You
6.
want to add to it now? We're
I'm just
talking about a
saying,
rumor that's now
No.
facts. We're not talking about Persona. We're talking about a new RPG on mobile.
but they also said
Wow,
they got
disrespect.
more
Persona,
to
sir.
show
Ah.
that is that they're going to show on Tokyo Game Show that they did not show. The whole reason they doing this, they released the teaser for this mobile game, is because nobody's seen it or heard it before. It's just to get people
Hold on, I'll be right back.
comfortable
Let
with
me
this
go get
new
the
thing.
world's most violent like I care. Hold on.
Hey, go ahead. And while you at it, give me something to drink because I'm thirsty.
You know what? I got mad ginger ale. What you need? I got
Hey,
flavored ginger ale.
that works.
Grape,
That works.
raspberry.
I'm all about that life. But the
Oh
trailer
my
doesn't
God.
show much. But I know that Sega also has some big projects underneath
You
the
know
hood.
this?
This is
Or you
Yes.
hoping?
No, I do, because this is Persona 5's 5th year anniversary, and they're celebrating that right now.
So I should stream this live, and when it don't happen, I could be like, I told you so.
I'm not saying that it will happen. I'm saying that they are doing stuff in the background.
Everybody's
I
doing
don't-
stuff in the background. That don't mean it's meaningful. What do you think about this mobile RPG? You still avoid the
There's not enough.
situation.
There's not enough out there to know anything about it. It's
Did
just
you
a
watch
teaser
the teaser
trailer.
trailer?
Yeah, it was like a couple seconds. It
What,
wasn't
it
nothing.
didn't do nothing for you.
No,
So you want to talk about everything else, not the question.
that's right. You said rumor. I'm telling you rumor.
I just want to point that out. I just want to,
Yeah.
listen. All right.
That's all I got.
Wow, the
That's
revolt
it.
is real. Damn.
I'm just asking because I asked him a question. He's going on about what they got coming, and but you know what? I love him. Do what you need to do. Promote your Sega. That's why I called you the Sega connoisseur, sucker. Because I knew it was something else
He ain't the
coming.
only one. He ain't the only one.
So, listen, I love Sega too, but goddamn. Mobile, I'm not buying anything on my cell phone. I don't care. But anyway, and me and you, sick, we buy notes. We buy big
That's
phones.
right.
I'm not playing on no note. Screen too small. I don't care how big it is. Sis, talk to me. Mobile, Sega, confirmed. New RPG. Interested or not?
I'm a little bit interested. The trailer didn't show much, but I'm an RPG person, and I play RPG on like anything and everything. Xbox, PlayStation, PC, the Switch, and yeah, I have played RPGs on my phone. So it's kind of just going to depend on if the game itself, when we're able to see more, if that's interesting enough for me to be like, I'm willing to
Oh,
put
look
it
at the
on my phone
gameplay
and
being
play it.
shown right now. Wow. How coincidental.
No.
It's PK's gameplay. Persona Strikers. Unbelievable. Go ahead, sis. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. But that's really what it's gonna be, because I'm just like, okay, cool. But there's not enough for me to be like, yeah.
OMG.
So I'll say that I'm interested just for the fact of it's an RPG, because I like RPGs. That's probably like my second genre that I play the most, right under horror. So I mean, we'll see. I'm not huge on playing RPGs on my phone, but like I said, I have before. It's like I said again, it's all just gonna come down to how interested am I in this game? Is it worth it for me to put on my phone to play?
Okay.
That's what it's gonna come down to.
Okay. And I'm gonna say this for the record. If you was a Sega woman spokesman, you ain't sell me nothing because you do not sound happy.
Neither did Sega.
Yes,
Right? Like, look.
I mean,
She didn't even
But neither
sound
did
excited. Huh?
because
But
I
neither
don't
did
have
Sega.
enough to work off of. I don't have enough to work off
And
of
shout out to
give me-
Bloody. He in the chat talking about, I'm a Sega slut. We know. We know. You probably
I don't
got a pachinko machine watch, sucker.
But I don't. That's the thing, though. I don't have enough information from the trailer. So how it's like, how can I be excited when the trailer was mainly a quill drawing a line, and then I saw some characters looking into like the distance.
You know what? I agree with you. Yo, Sick, do you
Mm.
have anything positive to add before we move into the next topic? Because I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say how I feel. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, bro.
Because if it ain't on console, I don't want to talk. And it's not like I don't play on my cell phone. I don't play xCloud on my cell phone. You know, I'm about to buy me a new Windows 7 Pro tablet just to play xCloud on the go because I do not want to play on my big screen of a cell phone right here. Sick is also a note owner. This is too small for me. You know what I'm saying? But some people do. I'm just saying for me, not interested. Sick, talk to me.
Yeah.
If you're interested, you can promote it. You can not promote it. Talk to me. What did you think, man? Because I
Bruh.
am not happy.
Yeah, back when you gave us the list and you said this was a rumor at the time, I was like, okay. And then on the rumor that popped up about mobile, I dropped the F-bomb. That's all I put. Mobile.
Right.
And then I have to further explain because it's like, and then
Somebody's
I put a
with
whole
me.
text bubble, and then he called me. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, why don't you read the thing? I said, listen, I dropped the curse on it, but it's not about the game because there's nothing to know to say if it's good or bad yet. But the fact that it's on mobile, that's an L for
right.
me,
That's an
because
L
I'm not
for
messing
me.
with it now.
Right.
I don't care now. It could be the best thing. I won't even get to find out until I hear a lot of other people is messing with it. I'm not going to bother doing anything. I only watch the trailer for the show.
Yo,
That's
hold up. Yo, Bloody, you gonna stop attacking me in my own chat? I got models for you. It's not a me problem. I said I don't play on my cell phone. It's not that it's not a good game. Let me say this for the record. I do not play on my cell phone.
Relax.
That's the problem. It's not like the game is the problem. If they say, listen, we put it on Game Pass in the Xbox type, I mean, in a cell phone app, but the same graphics, I would play it. Shout out to Miss K in the chat. I see you, sis. Listen,
Yeah, like Genshin Impact. Great game, you know?
So what I'm saying is, right, like Genshin Impact. What I'm saying
Pokemon
is,
Unite is
I
a
don't,
mobile game, but it has 9 million people playing it now.
I mean, but I'm not a mobile cell phone player,
But it's
PK.
on Switch.
The only thing I really played consistency, I played Mario Run, right? And I played Candy Crush.
But it's on Switch too, so that's a good thing.
What, the Sega game?
The Pokemon game.
No, I'm see, you still going left. We still talking about Sega.
It's not about the individual games.
Right.
We don't
So
know
I'm just
about
saying I don't play on my cell phone, Bloody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't play my Switch portably either. I play on my big ass 8K TV. Sorry to tell you. So if it came to the Switch, let's say with the mobile situation, but on the Switch, I would play it on my TV. But being that it's mobile only, I will never touch it. That's not that the game is going to be bad. I don't play on my cell phone. That's what, it's not a me problem. I know you a Sega slut. Listen, you probably got on Sega thongs right now with high heel stilettos. It's good. And you probably
I don't need
wearing
the
mascara.
Please stop saying this stuff.
But I'm just saying, don't come at me because I don't play on my cell phone, bro. I just don't. But anyway, man, we're going to move into, we got 2 more topics, man. And this is quick. Xbox TGS plans. Tokyo Game Show. Akumu, what do you think Xbox is going to bring to TGS? Do you think they're going to acquire a Japanese company? Do you think they're going to acquire or talk about a big game? What do you think about the TGS show? Shout out to everybody in the chat.
You said they're going to acquire a Japanese company.
So she's laughing.
Or,
I mean, but you know what? At this point, I think anything's possible for them.
See, okay.
I think I don't know about them acquiring a company. Though if they do,
thank you, Miss K. I'm with you, sis.
mad.
I'm with you. Go ahead.
Though if they do acquire a Japanese company, you know, I'm gonna be mad because I'm seeing these companies thrive under Xbox. But I think they're gonna show off some games, and I think they're gonna show off some games I'm not gonna say necessarily that the Westerners won't be interested in, but I think they're also gonna be focused on like the Asian community also.
I hope so.
Um
One thing I commended them for is the translation of English to Japanese and
mhm,
Chinese to fit the demographic of those markets, like with Halo. That's one of the first games they've
right.
ever done that. So Halo is going to be able to be spoken in a language that they understand. That might bring people in.
Right. And that's why I think Xbox is making moves.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Facts, facts.
I well, I don't think we've been shown that they are making moves. Um, and so I think that definitely Tokyo Game Show, huge, huge, huge in Japan, especially in the just the Asian countries in general. It's very big.
Shout out to your boy
So I
Lemon that been to Japan. I've been there.
and I think I wanted to go, and then the year
It's
that I was there, they
awesome.
canceled it. They canceled the Tokyo Game Show,
No,
and I
I
was
ain't been to
like,
Tokyo Game Show, but I've been to Japan on a rap concert.
oh yeah, no, I lived in Japan for a while because I lived and worked over there.
Oh, you
So
did, huh? You like? Oh no, dim sum is Chinese, right? Yeah, dim sum
yeah,
is Chinese. I tried.
um,
I tried.
it's good. It's good. I mean, they got Chinese food over there too.
Yeah, they do. They do. They do.
But
Everything is raw over there, though. In Japan, sushi. I love sushi.
sushi.
Facts.
And did you know they're big on sushi? But depending on
I
where in
am. I
Japan,
am.
you're gonna get the best sushi
Yeah, oh,
ever,
no doubt.
depending on
Straight
what
out the sea.
location you're in. Yep.
Straight under
Um,
the sea. Oh,
but I think the games. I think if they gameplay, it's gonna be again not. I don't think it's not gonna be like where Westerners are like, oh, I'm not interested at all. But I think they're definitely gonna be focusing on the Asian communities because I mean they're focusing on they want everybody to game and they want something for everybody and they don't want to leave anybody behind, and I hate to throw shade, but unlike Sony who basically turned their back on their own home, I think Xbox is over here being like, all right, you know
you
what?
listen. Xbox
Yeah, we're
Series S
yep,
is outselling PS5 in Japan. Never
well,
thought that
exactly.
was going to be a situation.
Right, and that's exactly my
What?
point. They're like,
Yeah,
okay, hey, y'all
Xbox
left.
Series S is outselling PS5 in
Jeez.
Japan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so they're like, well, Sony left, so hey, we're gonna step in and we're gonna show them that we still care about them at least.
facts. All
So
right.
yeah, I'm interested to.
All right, all right. I'm gonna say this for the record, and I'm this the last time I'm quoting you, Bloody. Don't hate me, cause I'm beautiful, and I hope you did this when you said that. But my girl likes it, so I ain't got no issues here. Whatever, Pocahontas. God, don't be doing that here. Anyway, we're gonna move on to the rest of the panel, man. Yo, PK, talk to me.
Yes.
Xbox predictions. Just something simple, quick, and easy before we move into my favorite goddamn topic for the night, and then we out of here.
More Game Pass, more xCloud, and getting more Japanese developers on board.
Booyah! Shots fired, my boy.
Or I
Oh,
should say Asian developers because it could be Korean.
yeah, facts,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
facts,
Mm-hmm.
facts. Sick. Give it to me. Pause.
Yo, you can copy paste what PK said, man. Ever since I began podcasting, it's been the same thing. I get this question all the time about Xbox in Japan, and finally, TGS is going to give us this answer. Hopefully, because I'm tired of answering this question all the goddamn time. I don't know what it's gonna do. All I can tell you is what I want. I want more Japanese support. Okay,
They got
that's
a
what I
lot
want
right
to
now.
see.
They got a lot.
And Korean support and xCloud and all of that is yeah, yo, just like what PK said. I want to see. I'm tired of hearing this question all the time on every podcast I'm on
108
every couple of
Dragons
months.
TV welcomes
I want to answer
everyone.
finally. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay. A lot of those answers that you want answered was speculation from people making stuff up on Twitter. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Just saying.
Yep.
Now listen, man. I just want a good show. I want them to get the support that they need from Japan and every other region around the world. I don't have no aspirations. I don't have no nothing. I just want them to have support like I want Sony to have support, like I want Nintendo to have the Western support. That's it for me. So now we're going to get into one of my favorite topics. I'm going to take you for a ride. And anybody know that title or what I just said already knows where I'm going. We talk about Capcom and Disney is talking Marvel versus Capcom 2, Dreamcast's greatest fighter. Talking about right now, remaking it, bringing it to current gen, new graphics, new situation, maybe some new characters. PK! When I dropped this topic in the chat, did you know about it? What you thought about it? Are you excited? Because I am ecstatic over this game. Because if anything needs to be remade, it would be that game. Because you only can get it on emulators right now. Talk to me. What up, PK? Mo vs. Capcom 2.
I'm open to anything. The Versus series was pretty good until Capcom did Part 3.
Right.
Capcom kind of messed over Disney, Marvel, and their player base with 3. Me being one.
Me and you both. I'm with the smoke.
And for those that don't know what I'm talking about, I bought Marvel vs. Capcom 3, pre-ordered everything, couldn't wait, got it.
Right.
Got it at the beginning of the year. It was lackluster. Less than 6 months later.
The remix of 2.
6 months.
But that's really 2 different games, though.
Right. I'm getting to my point.
Yeah.
So
okay.
less than six months later, they re-released the game as a full brand new game and wanted you to go buy that after I just paid $60 on this first game.
Facts.
And that was less than 6 months. I'm saying like 4 months. It was E3. I would never forget it.
Street Fighter 4. Maybe on a version of Street Fighter 4.
But at least Street Fighter 4, they allowed you to buy the upgrade. And
no,
yes, because I got
not in the beginning. No, sir.
Sir.
You had to buy the arcade edition, and then it was upgrades. Remember, look. Hold on. Let me explain. Let me just bring us back with some history. Street Fighter 4 on because this is why I'm telling you I know what I'm talking about. Street Fighter 4 on 360, you could not buy the arcade edition because Street Fighter 4 didn't have lobbies. You couldn't watch the next person playing. It's a whole bunch of BS. They brought out the arcade edition separately.
Well, you're missing games. It was super.
No. I ain't talking about
Super. Added all that. Super added all that.
But I'm telling you, Street Fighter 4, the regular edition, was not an addition to Super and the arcade version. Because I have Street Fighter 4, and I was supposed to play in a game night,
but it was also
with the content.
But it was also reduced price,
and it's not allowed. It's not allowed though. So I'm telling you, they milked us 3 times with the 360 era. The first game, the second game, you can add the arcade edition.
So back to
the first game, you couldn't. But go ahead, continue.
Back to the Marvel Capcom. 2 is probably the plateau, right?
Yeah. It's a foundation.
It was the last time that the Versus series was great.
Yep, the Versus series. That's right.
Not saying that Tatsunoko vs. Capcom didn't have caveats. Ultimate didn't have some caveats. The problem was
good.
The problem with Capcom's direction is they got lazy. They didn't put any work in the art style. They didn't put any work into innovating the game and bringing it to a new level. They were all about trying to put guest characters and trying to sell it based on the license and IP. They got besides themselves.
Thanks.
Because during the time that the Versus series got excited, got huge, just because they didn't just add characters. They were attempting to create something new.
Right.
So I do believe that if they could go back to that and just bring what was great about the Versus series in general, not just Marvel Capcom, that would be dope. That would bring a lot of people back to, because I'm going to tell you, Marvel Capcom Infinite did not get the Evo. It did not. It didn't have enough participation to be in the
It
competitive.
wasn't
Not to say
good.
the game.
Say what it is.
And
Just
I
forget
I
about
mean,
Evo. It just wasn't good. Doesn't matter about Evo. Game
the
wasn't good.
the point I'm making is that if they could bring it back to what we loved about the Versus series and what made Part Two so exciting to play, let's get back to that. Let's
Facts.
get back to that, and then yes, I'm all aboard. But they got to really sell their butt off to convince Marvel slash Disney that they're going to be doing that, because after what they've done with the license is pretty abysmal.
Yeah, it's abysmal. The artwork was bad. Thor played like trash. I didn't even know how to control him no more. It was terrible.
It was
Yeah,
horrible.
it was horrible. All right, Akumu, interested in this game? What did you think about Marvel versus Capcom 2, the remake or remaster or whatever they doing? Great series, classic.
I hope that it happens, because I know that it's a rumor. I know they're saying they're in talks and they're kind of seeing what's going to
Oh, they
happen.
talking.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But I'm hoping it's gonna happen. That's one of those things. I know I had mentioned before on a podcast about, bonding with my brother. This was definitely a game. My brother had a Dreamcast, and this was definitely one of those games that we used as that brother sister bonding, right?
Right, right. It's
So
nostalgic for you.
yeah, nostalgic. Exactly. Had fun. Loved the game. Um, would be absolutely ecstatic if they bring it back, because and the nostalgia factor, and I remember loving the game. I remember having my favorite characters, and hey, I'm ready.
First of all, it was one of the first 2.5D side-scrolling fighting games that was gorgeous.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
The 3D backgrounds, they was polygon. Yo, it was amazing the artwork that they did, man. Amazing. But sick, talk to me. Last subject before we get up out of here. And hold on. It is 8:14 with the hiccup. So basically we still at 2 hours. 11 subjects, maybe 10. It was 11 or 10.
I lost count. I haven't
11,
been
I
counting.
think.
Yeah, it was 11. Yeah. Shout out to my panel. Super panel on the block. Let's go. You already know how we do. The queen and my two IT brothers. Sick, talk to me. How do you feel about the situation? I know we played many hours in my house.
Hell yeah,
Right.
bro.
So
And
talk to me. Talk to me. How did you
bro,
feel to even hear
man,
this being talked about, let alone
man,
happening?
one more detail that PK didn't mention after Marvel vs. Capcom 3 or Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, then there was a debacle that was Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Okay? Low character roster, none of the characters that people wanted to see. And this was in the middle of the MCU kicking ass. And it's ironic to hear that a lot of the rumor and suspicion is that Disney was messing up the works, and Capcom wasn't too, how shall we say, smart at the time. Kept making stupid mistakes over and over and over. So that compounded the situation there. So when I first heard this, I thought maybe Capcom and Marvel, or Disney rather, are in a new deal. And usually, if Capcom wants to get the license again, then they start re-releasing a couple of their older titles or whatever. But that's not what this is. They're just talking about this game here. Of
Right.
course, I want to see this game. I just want to see this game. But afterwards, I want to see more. And hopefully, this is them putting the feelers out to see if people want more games. But Capcom, if you decide you want to make more games, remember the mistakes you've made in the past. You too, Disney. You too. That's all I got to say.
Okay, well, I'm a big fan of this. I hope this brings on a Street Fighter 5 Unreal Engine based version. I hope this brings on Darkstalkers 1, 2, or 3, or a new Darkstalkers with all the characters. Love that series. I was very excited. Just to even hear them in talks with them. This is not a rumor, they're in talks. So I'm ecstatic to hear that. Capcom needs to get back on the ball with their fighting games. Street Fighter 5 came out, wasn't the best. Awesome today. So I think they learned their stuff. But listen, man, shout out to everybody in the chat. Absolutely lit. The interaction with each other, This is why we here. We gamers, and this is what we do, man. Give yourselves a round of applause, man. It is greatly appreciated that everybody shows up every Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next week, look forward. I got some giveaways to do next week. We're going to do it big. We're going to do PSN codes, Xbox Live codes. I'm even going to give out a Switch code for those Switch people that's out there, even if PK claims it not. But what we're going to do is we're going to get into these outros. We're going to get into my excellent co-hosts who helped me bring this gaming information to you. We try to hit y'all with solid topics. We try to bring you those facts. Shout out to Miss K. You still welcome to come on board. That's what I'm talking about, sis. Keep them gun YouTube channel popping, man. You keep me focused. When I buy my condo out there, I'm definitely gonna let you send me to the right place to get some legal weapons. We're gonna leave that alone. But listen, man, we're gonna get into the Queen of the Block, aka Master Degree. I will fire you at that desk if you don't show up to work. Akuma. Tell them where they can find you. And you know what? Tell your man, I don't care if you owe Diane. Sit your ass up. Johnson & Johnson shoulder commercial hair having sucker. Anyway, Akuma, where can they find you? And tell them what you're getting into this week. Let them know.
You can find me over at
Thank you, Stanley.
Twitch.tv under Akumus _ Matata.
Yeah.
This week I'm gonna be finishing up the Kraken Academy.
Woo.
And I'll be jumping back into some of the Mass Effect Legendary Edition gameplay.
Nice.
Normally I'd also have like a horror game because that's what I'm known for, but like I said at the beginning, we're saving it all for next month for Spooktober.
Okay,
Spooktober. And then of course,
let's go.
Here's Saturday. Yeah. You can find me here on Saturdays.
Yes, focus. Giving you that free smoke. You know what I'm saying? That's what she do. And now we're going to get into my other brother, man. The illest Jerry Carroll, non-Jerry Carroll having entertainment YouTube, a.k.a. the new CEO of Four Guys Recorders. And shout out to my boy, Carlo, a.k.a. Mr. Italian Clowns, for pulling up on Runaway Dragons yesterday.
Properly, man.
Doing that vlog. No, listen, I'm doing it on the outro. You know what I'm saying? We had technical difficulties. It threw me off my game. But yeah, shout out to my boy Carlo, man. Welcome to New York, brother. Hopefully I see you tomorrow, man. You know I'm in the building all day for you. We got out there. You still can't eat no pizza like a New York man.
Man,
it was falling. Needed a tow truck for all that pizza. He said, Lemon, this pizza was amazing. I said, you gonna start crying? Shout out to my boy. But we gonna get into the Matrix, a.k.a. Thick Slayer. You know that's my brother from another mother, man. But yeah. Tell him what you into. Tell him, man. Tell him how you rocking these podcasts out here, bro. How you monopolizing this YouTube space, giving that information out. Let's go.
Yo, man. Yo, I got to shout out to all the folks who be inviting me to their podcast. Most recently, Dirk Griggity, man. Had a great time. Yo.
We bleed green.
Shout out to that whole crew. Sean, all of them
savages over there.
Yo, Sean,
savages.
Had to pronounce your name properly, brother. You know, but and it be off the cuff, spur of the moment. You know, we discuss lots of gaming topics. Privately, and all of a sudden we have something to talk about. So, we hop up on the internet. This is what we do. We discuss the topics in the world that we care about. It's just like what I said this at the very beginning. We was talking about Nintendo right there. I have my criticisms because I care, not because I want the company to shut down. And that definitely goes for Sony, because I got lots of smoke for Sony. It's the same thing. We all here because we love this, and so we want it to be good. So as always, you can check me out right here on the Dragon's Den, and you can check me out on Twitter and everywhere the great games are played. Check me out next time. Peace.
Okay, we getting to the multi-lex. Oh, you know what? I did a whole intro for PK and didn't announce sick. That was crazy. That's because the light skin is confusing me on the camera. It's disgusting over here. So, with the most electrifying man, the new CEO Oh, Four Guys Recorders. Got a little
He did
confused.
say
Talking
all
about
that.
my man code. Yeah, I did. But I went right to you. But anyway,
Oh,
PK
that's
know what
right.
it is, the
Wait,
host.
you
He
called
know
him
what,
in.
yo,
Yeah,
you
that's
did a
right. Didn't
fantastic job. You know what it is, PK? I'm mad I couldn't make it the other night, but I had some engagements to, engage
And the show
on.
went quick too for an hour and a half. I wanted to mention that you did a great job, PK. Yo, a long episode in terms of length, it felt like half an hour. It
Yeah,
really did,
facts,
man.
facts. Shout out to you, PK. You ready for this, bro? You ready? You ready? Are you
Absolutely.
ready? Are you ready? Let's get it out. PK, what up, bro?
Hey, listen, I appreciate all of the support and definitely the kind words. You know me, I just like to have fun with it and keep it moving. I'm not that type of dude who want to stick around. I want to give shout outs to my family, the people that promote me and that support me, and give that same energy back. I always have,
Facts.
always will.
Got your back, bro.
I'm always loyal 100. That's one thing about me. You don't have to always agree, but I'm always 100% got your back, and that's how I roll. And
Yep.
for everyone out there, hey, this takes a lot of work, a lot of preparation. So please show appreciation to 108 Dragons. Um,
Appreciate it, bro.
definitely, definitely show appreciation to these guys. These guys put in a lot of work to bring you great quality, and they don't just do whatever, right? They put in work because they want you guys to be entertained. So
Facts.
please show appreciation. Share this out on all your social media platforms. Let people know they can come here if they want to be entertained. They don't have to watch it live. Watch it on replay. Put it on when you're on your way to work. Put it on while you out working out. Hey, just listen. It's a good show. We got a great body of work here. Um, definitely. For me, hey, follow me on Twitter, PKX Live. Definitely come catch me in Dragon's Den here every Saturday and every Thursday. I'm on 4GQ TV where may see me be the one leading and hosting while my brother Clowns is out of town, maybe even out of the weather. I'm holding it down, definitely pushing them, keeping the show going and moving things forward. We definitely got more shows coming about, so definitely come check us out. Hey, thanks for coming through. Give us a thumbs up and a like and subscribe. Thanks, guys.
Ooh, that was nice. Good job, my brother. Good job. And like I'm gonna say, man, like I say all the time, man, I am Demetrius. Right hand is Zeus, man. You already know how I give it up, man. Every week, y'all show up, y'all come and show support, man. And yeah, listen, man. Look forward to seeing y'all next week. We gonna be back with the Dragons Den. I'm bringing y'all straight content every day on the weekdays, man, or trying to. Listen, man, go look at my video yesterday with me and my man, Mr. Italian Clowns, doing a vlog live, eating, talking, chopping it up, being who we being, man. Listen, I love to do what I do. I enjoy this community. I enjoy the people that I meet. I enjoy the energy, whether you represent PlayStation, Xbox, or Switch, it don't matter. We are a gaming community. And like I say every week, I need y'all to bring your game and definitely not your name. And I'm going to see y'all in the next one. Peace. See y'all next week. Pay attention to them giveaways in that chat.